Leave and don't come back. His face burned crimson, eyes veined and wild. My suitcase was already zipped. I didn't answer. I met his stare, turned the knob, and stepped out. Rain greeted my shoulders like a verdict, cold and unceremonious. He didn't call that night. He didn't call the next week. When he finally did, it wasn't for me, it was for the plastic. Growing up, I thought Victor Hale, my father, was a fortress. When my mother, Lila, died, he folded her scarf and said, "We move on," as if grief were a chore you could finish before dinner. I was 13, a girl who needed softness. He gave me silence. I learned to tidy myself into usefulness. High marks, clean rooms, no complaints. A scholarship ferried me away. My own job paid the rest. Then the calls began. "Come home just for a while," Victor said. "The roof leaks. Bills are stacked. You're the only one I trust." Claire, my best friend, warned me to be careful. "Promises can be traps," she said, wrapping my fingers around a spare apartment key. I went anyway. I paused grad school, found a better-paying job nearby, and moved back into the old house. For a short time, the truce held. I paid rent, I bought groceries, I added him, against Claire's advice, to my card for gas and prescriptions. He said thank you, his voice like a borrowed suit. Stiff, polite, too tight to be true. Looking back, the betrayal didn't arrive like thunder. It arrived like a dripping faucet, so small you ignore it until the ceiling buckles and you're the last to notice the damage has become the room. In plain sight. The first sign was a notification at 3 a.m. A jewelry store I'd never heard of, an address 3 towns over. By sunrise, my account looked like a parade had marched through it. Champagne, electronics, a rental car. Victor slept on the couch, mouth open, a television storm lighting his face. I stood there long enough to feel the decision grow bones. At the bank, the manager spoke in analogies. "Think of your card like a spare house key," she said. "You can lend it, but if the house gets robbed, the alarm doesn't ask who's holding the key." I filed a fraud claim. I moved my savings. I removed Victor from everything but the memory of the signature I'd learned at 16, Lila's looping L, on forms that needed a guardian when he was missing. Claire met me on her lunch break. We split a sandwich and a plan. "You'll stay at my place," she said. "We'll list the house, document every charge, and call in a favor from my cousin in probate." We took pictures. The blistered roof, empty pill bottles, a drawer of receipts with my name beneath his. When Victor woke, he was gentle. "You overreacting makes me feel small," he said. "I never asked you to fix everything." "I know," I said, meaning the opposite. I packed the photos, the scarf, and my mother's chipped teacup. I left the wedding ring Victor had worn like a museum exhibit, on display, never touched. That night at Claire's, I lay awake practicing the lines for the notary, the realtor, and for the man who had been a fortress and turned into a lock I could open. By morning, Claire's cousin sent a template for an accounting. Columns for debts, assets, and the months I carried the house like a tired animal across a river. I copied every figure, then met the realtor. Sun poured through the cracked skylight, a brightness that made the dust look honest. We signed to list as is. "Price it to move," I said. The past, I'd learned, appreciates only in weight. Victor arrived later, not angry, frayed. "You're selling my home," he said, searching for a rescue. I steadied myself with the teacup's chip against my thumb. "I'm selling a building," I answered. "Home is what we build with what's left." He opened his mouth, closed it, and sank into the empty shape of a chair. The sale drew offers within a week. I chose the couple with the baby sling and questions about light. At closing, I handed the cashier's check to probate, then gave Victor the remainder with a letter. Rehab referrals, a phone plan in his own name, the address of a church pantry that still remembered my mother. He read nothing while I watched, but I folded duplicates into an envelope. Back at Claire's, I pressed submit on my reinstatement to grad school and booked a studio whose window faced east. The first morning there, I brewed tea and looped Lila's scarf over the chair. Soft rain started, slower than memory. I messaged the new owners about a roofer and texted Claire a key emoji. My card buzzed once. Charge declined. I smiled. An alarm, finally choosing me.